Good evening. We call to order the regular meeting of West Valley City Council. We note that we have all council members here present in our meeting. Our opening ceremony tonight will be from Council Member Lars Nordfeld. Councilman Nordfeld.
Thank you, Mayor. Would everyone please rise with me and say the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Special recognition, of course, we have Senator Maine here, one of our local state senators. We appreciate whenever they come and visit with us. It's nice to have you here, and we'll get down just a little further in the agenda to hear from you. Next on our agenda will be our approval of the minutes of December 15th. Do we have a motion from the council on the minutes?
Mayor, move for approval of the minutes of December 15th.
Second.
Motion and a second is before us. Any discussion, or are they okay the way they are? Looks like they're okay the way they are. Then all in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes unanimously. The minutes are approved. Now is our comment period, and Senator Maine has signed up. And so, Senator Maine, if you would like to come up to the microphone.
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be in my nest with my tribe. Is there a letter? Did you pass out the letter? Fine. I have been to Salt Lake County, and I've been to Salt Lake City. And I'm going to venture into Murray and maybe West Jordan, some of our communities that parallel us. Sitting on the UTA board about 12 years ago, and Senator Bramble and I did, and I had conversation with him. The problem we've had from day one is buses going into our residential areas. We have buses on the arteries, and we appreciate that. We appreciate tracks, we appreciate all the mass transit that has been brought to our community. But the need we have is buses in our residential areas. They need to pick up people to go to work. Nothing bugs me more than seeing my neighbors walk down to the bus stop and have 2 inches of snow on their head, waiting for the bus. I hate that. And we have, gas prices are not low now, and I get that, but they won't always be. I'll give you an example of this. I represent Kearns, West Valley, and Taylorsville. And in Kearns, they have a road called Misty Way, and it goes right through Kearns. And it connects 654 and 62. So I've called them up twice I said, this is an artery that goes, and people can collect there, and then they can get on the main arteries. They give me a bus route for a year, and then they call me up and say, well, geez, it doesn't pay for itself. And I said, well, mass transit doesn't pay for itself. We collectively go together, but these people are working. And then they call me and say, my job's around the transit. Well, sorry, walk 2 miles. And so this is a letter that I authored, and I'm going to the councils because they all have issues, especially in Salt Lake City. They spoke of the west side, where they have need for more bus service. Buses are the artery of it. They have to get to tracks, but they got to get on the bus to get to tracks. And they have to get on the buses to get to Front Runner, and they have to, and you go to big cities, their bus service is effective. And then they artery out to those bigger mass transit facilities. So I'm going to go to the board, they're thrilled I'm sure, on the 27th, and deliver this same letter. I have got letters from Salt Lake County, they have all signed on. I've sent this to my colleagues in the House and the Senate, asking for them to sign on. I think that, and the message that I have been given from UTA is that they are rethinking their bus routes and rethinking how they do their bus service. So this is a letter saying, poke, you need to look into those residential areas. those low-income people that are working, taking care of business, they need dependable transportation. They can't go to work when they move the bus stops around, when they can't. And so we want everybody to be productive, but for that, we have to give them tools to be productive. So I'm asking you, I hope you can support this. I think that if we have a collective voice when they redo those routes, give us some permanent road. West Valley has several roads that hook into our arteries. And if people get used to it, they will take it. And if it's, I just shared with a councilman also, I tried to go to the Capitol, it took me 2 hours. And that's not gonna work, because we are a transit community. We don't even think about it, because we've had to be mobile. And as the second biggest city, and you are the second biggest city, and you might even be the biggest city as time goes on. So I think we need to think big, because we can accommodate lots of stuff, because we are way cool. And so I hope that, I'm going to leave this with you. If you feel that you can join me, and then collectively I will bring that message to UTA. But I think they are rethinking, and I think they need to rethink how they run the bus service and how they run mass transit. But to me, this is all, and you all have lived in this community a long time, from day one, just like I have, and it's always been an issue for you, for us. So I hope you can join in with Salt Lake Council and with Salt Lake County Council, and to my colleagues in the Hill and the Senate, and because it's the same message for West Jordan, the same message for Salt Lake. Just look into those residential routes. And they know, they're smart guys, they know the planners, the roads that go through. They need to give us some more transit. They need to make it effective. So that's my plea. I have one other invitation. I have a townhouse meeting February 4th here. Please, I would like to open that to you. It is not a political thing. I'm not up for office. I have it every year. And I have one in Kearns, and I have one here, and then I go to Taylorsville. But Michael Jackson's coming. I hope not. Michael Jensen's coming, and some of the council people from Salt Lake. I'm going to invite our police chief or some of his officers to come, and I've invited the firefighters to come. So I've advertised it. So if you want to come, and because it's a community, we're a tight group here. And so it's a town meeting for everyone. So I appreciate your time. Is there any questions about this?
February 4th?
Here.
Here.
Right here. So I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else here to speak? Looks like that's everyone, so.
I really drew a crowd, didn't I?
Well, we were impressed.
Oh, do we? Good. We're going to get some buses.
Then to our city manager, any comments?
No, sir, thanks.
To the council, any comments? Going right down our agenda. Next is our public hearings. We have application number S26-2015 filed by Adam Maher. And that's requesting approval to amend a lot in the Capco subdivision. 5600 West, 2514 South. And so I believe this was the one where they're making additional parcels so that they can deal with those separately. Yeah. And so for the information of anyone listening, these are items that we considered in a previous council meeting. This will be the second time we address them, and tonight we will probably, on many of the issues we consider, take action on them. So with that, this is, I think was it making it into 4 different parcels? Mr. Wilder?
Let me refer to Mr. Pastor, sorry.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was two, but.
How many was it?
Was condominiums. So
Condominiums, that's what it was. I knew it was,
so it's changing the zone.
Mr. Lehman will have.
Oh, I'm sorry. Where's Steve? Well, there he is right there. I apologize, Steve.
well, he can just say, yes, it was, or what, it's condominiums
Condominiums,
and
one lot.
one lot, and there are multiple ones so that they can own those, okay. That's what it was. Wasn't four, it was more than that, or it could be more than that. Okay, well, that's the introduction of the item. With that introduction, we will open the public input for this application. Is there anyone here to speak to this application? It appears not. Pretty easy to see for the few people that are here. I guess there's no one hiding over there. With that, since there appears to be no one to speak this, we will close the public input portion. We'll come back to the council for consideration of ordinance 1601, which is to amend this lot to create these condominiums. To the
Mayor,
council.
move for approval of ordinance 1601, very first ordinance of the new year.
That's right.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. It's properly before us. Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, we'll turn to our city recorder for a roll call vote.
Councilman Vincent?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lang?
Yes.
Councilman Bueller?
Aye.
Councilman Hume?
Aye.
Councilman Christensen?
Yes.
Councilman Nordfeld?
Yes.
And Mayor Bigelow?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. We now go to our next public input or public hearing. This is on application S28-2015 filed by Justin Peterson. This is approval to amend Lot 1 of the West Valley Commercial Retail Subdivision. This is at approximately 6200 South, 5600 West. And this one, I believe, was on the lot there where Walmart is. And get that up on my computer. My computer's slow. Not my computer, my iPad. iPad, iPod, and all these different things. Well, it's not. There we go. Yes, it's that northeast corner of that lot where Walmart is down there. To again subdivide those. So that's the intent of this particular proposal. With that introduction, then we'll open it for public comment. Is there anyone here to speak to this issue? Again, no one. Okay, that's fine. We will close the public input portion and we'll return to the council where we will consider ordinance 16-02, the second one of the new year, to amend this lot in West Valley Commercial Retail Subdivision by Walmart.
Mayor, I move for approval of ordinance 16-02.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, we'll turn to our city recorder. We'll take a roll call vote.
Councilman Nordfeld?
Yes.
Councilman Christensen?
Yes.
Councilman Hume?
Aye.
Councilman Bueller?
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang?
Yes.
Councilman Vincent?
Yes.
And Mayor Bigelow?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Next, we go to resolutions on our agenda. We have first resolution of the new year. 1601. This resolution is to authorize an agreement with Aaron Price to provide administrative law judge services to West Valley City. This is a contract that he will be available, not exclusive. We may have others. He will serve as needed as a contractor to provide those services when the need arises. And that's at the standard price of $45 an hour. Mr. Price is a licensed attorney and is willing to do this. That is the issue before us. There is no public hearing on this. We'll return to the council for comment or action.
Mayor, I move for approval of resolution 1601.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the resolution. Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, we'll place that for a vote.
Councilman Vincent?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lang?
Yes.
Councilman Bueller?
Aye.
Councilman Hume?
Aye.
Councilman Christensen?
Aye.
Councilman Nordfeld?
Yes.
And Mayor Bigelow?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Next, we go to Resolution 16-02. This is to authorize the purchase of 5 replacement vehicles. These are Ford Police Interceptor sedans. The total cost on this, $123,610. Part of an ongoing process to update our fleet, as we do every so often once they get to a point of high mileage and maintenance. So that is the issue before us. We turn to the council now for any comments or action.
Mayor, I move for approval of Resolution 1602.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. It's properly before us. Any further discussion? Seeing no further comments, we'll go to our city recorder for a vote.
Councilman Vincent?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lang?
Yes.
Councilman Bueller?
Aye.
Councilman Hume?
Aye.
Councilman Christensen?
Yes.
Councilman Nordfeld?
Yes.
And Mayor Bigelow?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, next we go to Resolution 16-03, an interlocal cooperation agreement between West Valley City and Salt Lake County to share the costs of certain road construction project and capital improvement projects. And this, interestingly enough, is a large fund of money, $10 million to West Valley City for various projects from the state legislature, ongoing type of thing that happens routinely, and those projects will be determined over this next year for those that are most in need, that meet the requirements of that fund. With that introduction, then, we turn to the council for comment or action.
I move for approval resolution 16-03.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the resolution. Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, we'll place it for a vote.
Councilman Nordfeld?
Yes.
Councilman Christensen?
Yes.
Councilman Hume?
No, sorry. Aye.
Councilman Bueller?
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang?
Yes.
Councilman Vincent?
Yes.
Mayor Bigelow?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, next we go to item number 9 on our agenda. This is for new business. This is application S-27-2015, filed by Colby Anderson, requesting final plat approval for the Redwood Business Center subdivision at 2850 South Redwood Road. And currently occupied by 3 existing buildings, and lot 1 will be 1.3 acres, lots 2 and 3 about 1.7. This still meets all the requirements for available open space and parking. We'll just set that up. I think this was probably more the one I was thinking of earlier, but it's only on the 3 lots. So that is the issue before us, to change that so that that can be broken up into separate plats, the 3 plats. There are 3 existing buildings there, and those can be dealt with individually. With that introduction, to the council for comment or action.
Would move for approval of application S-27-2015.
Second.
We have a motion and a second before us, or it's properly before us. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll place it for a vote.
Councilman Nordfeld?
Yes.
Councilman Christensen?
Yes.
Councilman Hume?
Aye.
Councilman Bueller?
Aye.
Councilwoman Lang?
Yes.
Councilman Vincent?
Yes.
And Mayor Bigelow?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Next, we go to our consent agenda. We have 5 different items on our consent agenda. Typically, we deal with these in a body, but the council can separate them if need be. We have, let's see, right-of-way contract with Anaya's Market. We have a warranty deed for property on 4100 South and approximately 4800 West. And then ratifying 3 city manager appointments, Johnny Hayes, Martel Winters, and David McEwen. I want to see Hayes to the Arts Council, the other 2 to the Planning Commission as a member and alternate member. Though that is our consent agenda, these are fairly routine items, so normally do not take much discussion. Of course, none of them take much discussion, so I don't know if we can be more brief with these or not. With that to the council.
Mayor, move for approval of the 5 items on the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second before us. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll turn to our city recorder.
Councilman Vincent,
Yes.
Councilwoman Lang,
Yes.
Councilman Bueller,
Aye.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfeld,
Yes.
and Mayor Bigelow.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, that completes our regularly scheduled agenda. We do not have a need for an executive session tonight. And so any further comments from the council? Any further issues? Seeing none,
Motion to adjourn?
motion to adjourn. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passed unanimously. We are adjourned. Thank you for coming tonight.